So the Draculina decided that she wanted her extra hour in the park for a third day in the row. Fortunately, with the package that we had, extending the park tickets one extra day was only $20. That's insane given the sunk cost of being here already. So she has packed everything lickety-split. I was up pretty late working, and she informed me that we absolutely had to get up. So just like a little kid at Disney World, she wants one more day of fun. Fortunately, we have nothing important to do but drive home today, and I don't mind doing it in the middle of the night, so she can stay as long as she wants. Are you ready, Slytherin?
I'm so ready.
Alright, everything's packed up, so we get to stow it in the car, and then I guess, I don't know, I think that our Fast Pass thingies will still work today with the hotel. I'm not sure, I guess we'll find out. So the weather has been perfectly dreary these last 2 days, which means that fair enough, the robes were a good call. An excellent decision. So we just dropped everything at the Uke and we're gonna squeeze out our extra day. That's how you make it happen, guys. Is this a bus pulling up? We might want to run so that we beat the bus people to the... Ooh, maybe the bus is faster than the boat right now. There's no one on it. Let's do it. She's Starbucksing as fast as she can. She is so silly. So early park admission is really cool. It's totally worth it, guys. The extra hour is really, really easy to pack like 3, maybe even 4 rides in. It's super sweet. Draculina is like way ahead of me. She doesn't like it when I stop to vlog. She wants the most out of that hour. We gotta call the ministry. Dial M for magic. It's very quiet.
The Ministry of Magic has temporarily closed the public entrance.
I see.
And apologizes for the inconvenience.
I have to get in through the brakes.
To be honest with you, Alec, Slytherin is one of my 4 favorite houses. Yeah. Always in the top 4.
I'd go.
Oh! If I ever joined the house, I'd be head boy. I think I fit that role well.
I don't want to know anything about you now, dude.
Who? If I be where y'all come up with a piece of my mind. Be like, hey, you know who? Stop bothering people. You're bothersome. I'll bite your ankle. I would intimidate him.
So we will see you later, Universal Studios. It's a long drive home and we're ready to get on the road. Buy some decent food that doesn't cost a ton of money. Oh wait, are you sure it's not too late to ride Minions again? That was so worth it.
I feel so bad for anybody who doesn't have the Fast Pass and has to wait the 2 some odd hours for that
Pretty
ride.
rough.
It's bad.
All right, doll. So decent present.
Very, very good present. I was surprised and I loved every second of it.
Okay, let's go home. So we pay him in $50. Alrighty guys, so we finally exhausted the Draculina. She is asleep in the back. I've got like a crick in my shoulder, but it's not the end of the world. So she's finally tired and the trip is pretty much officially over. There's nothing really special for the rest of the day. We just crossed the Florida-Georgia line and I'm just kind of rolling. At least we're done with the tolls. So this was a good time in the vlog to address something that I've gotten a ton of questions about since I've been posting on Instagram, and even though the vlog itself goes up a little bit later, the Instagram questions and the questions that I've gotten on Facebook all boil down to a TLDR of like, Drac, how did you afford that? And And so like that's an interesting topic. I think it might be a slightly inappropriate topic, but I live a pretty public life now, despite my reluctances. And so I feel like it's a good teaching opportunity about kind of how like theme park packages work, and so it's like something that I'm comfortable and happy to talk about to you guys, so that you guys know if you want to plan a trip like this with either your family or with your significant other or whatever you may choose. So step one is book early. The earlier you book, the better like package rates you can get. Each theme park releases at various points in the years these special deals, which if you book them then for a time later on is an excellent deal. So tickets were much cheaper and the room itself was much cheaper. Now this one's going to seem counterintuitive because there is a Days Inn like 10 minutes outside of the park that costs $40 a night, but it's worth it to stay at the luxury hotels, at least for Universal, because you get that unlimited express pass, which if you buy it in the park, you might not even get one because of how busy the park can be sometimes. And like, I think Universal has an average yearly attendance of something like 8 million, so just put that into perspective. But it's also an unlimited pass, which means that you can ride rides as many times as you want in the express lane, as opposed to the one that you purchase in the park, which only lets you ride once each ride. So like, to put that into perspective, we rode the Mummy maybe 3 or 4, I can't quite remember, times in a row, like without even getting off, because they didn't have a lot of flow and the express line was empty. And we had express passes, so we just kept free rolling, which was really, really nice. And then take advantage of like things that happen throughout the year. So the park tends to be less busy before holidays and then really busy during holidays. So while Christmas, I'm sure, is going to be just a madhouse at Universal, this week before Christmas was actually rather light. And then that extra hour that you get by staying in the hotel is very valuable. You can get like 3 or 4 rides in if you know exactly what you want to do and exactly where it is in that magic hour before the public, quote unquote, gets in. And so like, that's another really good facet of that. So the bottom line is, even though there is a pretty heavy price tag on that room, you can get it at about half rate if you wait for a package that includes like tickets and you purchase in advance. And then in addition, even though it's still going to seem kind of expensive compared to that Quality Inn Days Inn Red Roof, it comes with so many benefits that it's really, really worth it. And you can get meal vouchers with that and all sorts of stuff, which allows you to eat in the park. And then my other big piece of advice is eat in the park. I know that a lot of people hate that one because park food is so expensive, but the time in the park that you lose with the people that you care about while you're going around and trying to find cheap food outside of the park costs you more in value that you've already spent getting into the park than it's possibly going to cost you extra. So like, yeah, $13 for shepherd's pie in Harry Potter World is kind of a rip-off, but you get to stay in Harry Potter World in character and eat shepherd's pie in Harry Potter World at the Three Broomsticks or the Leaky Cauldron or what have you. So it's actually like really cool. And then as far as Harry Potter World goes in specific, I think that's correct English, I highly recommend buying the extras. And I know that it kind of stinks being like, oh man, I don't want to buy robes and a wand after spending so much already to get there, but it completely changes the experience. And as a secret aside, if you're like fully in character, like the Draculina and I with her headband and our matching Ravenclaw Slytherin robes and lanyards with our hotel passes on the lanyards, the park employees are super duper nice to you. Like, they treat you like a character if other people are already treating you like a character. So little girls kept wanting to take photos with Draculina, and because of that, some park employees noticed, and we got not only like express entrance to the Harry Potter main rides, the Gringotts one and the Harry Potter and the Magical Adventure in Hogwarts, but we also got like VIP entrance into those, where like we basically snuck through staff corridors to arrive in the very, very front of those rides, having not paid any extra for that or done anything special. And so like highly recommend picking up the costumes because A, you feel like you're part of the attraction. It definitely changes the experience, and I know that because I didn't wear my costume and she did for one day. And in addition to that, like, it opens up a whole lot of doors for you, quite literally, and experiences. It's a lot of fun. So I recommend spending the extra, I guess, $120 on those, even though, like, yes, that is a ton of money, but you've already spent so much. I guess, like, my ultimate guide to Universal is the concept of the sunk cost in finance, whereas, like, you've already given up 3 days of work, 4 days of work, and you've taken the time and the gas to drive down to Universal or fly there, heaven forbid, and at that point, like, you've already invested so heavily in this experience with these people that it makes sense to just kind of go all out. It's sort of the same way that I feel about, like, HVZ and Nerf trips, and that, like, you should eat at nice places on the road because you're already making a sacrifice of financial efficiency to do it, so you might as well do it. So that's just my advice. I mean, you're welcome to take it or leave it or disagree, but I highly recommend the on-site hotels, and I'm sure that the Draculina, having loved this experience, will want to do it again at some point, and so we might try the Hard Rock next time, assuming I get an equally attractive package come across my email from them. But it was a really special trip, and it was really, really cool to get to share with her first theme park experience, even if her Hogwarts letter did arrive a little bit late. But thank you very much for watching. I guess we'll make one more segment when we get home, kind of bringing it all to a conclusion. But that's the long-winded version of, like, how a YouTuber could afford a very nice Christmas present like this, and the answer is patience and the sunk cost concept in finance, and just kind of like taking one on the chin to have a really exceptional time, as opposed to doing a couple of, like, weak attempts at it.